We know that carjackings are happening all across the country for whatever reason. I don't know if they're still chopping them down and selling them. I don't know what they're doing with them, but carjackings are a problem. Not only here, they're in Detroit, they're in all these major cities. Now, there was a woman, she was being carjacked. The DOGE staffer says, hey, I'm going to run in. I'm going to be her savior. I'm going to be her knight in shining armor. And it did not turn out that well for him. So let's get all the context. Then I want to talk about a similar incident that ended in a much worse way than this one ended.
He was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
President Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened to federalize Washington, D.C., especially after a 19-year-old DOGE staffer by the name of Edward Korenstein was allegedly the victim of a brutal and violent attack. Now, if that name doesn't really sound familiar to you, that's okay. You might recognize him by his now infamous alias, Big Balls. But what happened to him is serious, so let's get into the details. Now, Elon Musk, the former head of DOGE, said in an X post, a few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in DC. A DOGE team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. Now, here's another account of the incident. According to a DC police report, about 10 juveniles approached Korenstein and one other person who were standing next to their vehicle, then demanded the vehicle and assaulted one of the victims. So
let me tell you something. If 10 people come up to you demanding anything that you have on your person, you give that shit up. You don't fight back, you don't talk back, you just go ahead and let it go. You might be able to get it back on the back end, or you file a police report, you file an insurance claim, whatever it is, you give it up.
it looks like based on
there is no place for being a tough guy or a tough girl in a situation where it's you and another person versus 10 people. It doesn't matter if it's the Cincinnati brawl. It doesn't matter if you're being carjacked. It doesn't matter if they want to take something directly off of you. Get that shit up. 10 people versus one or two of you. It's going to be a losing situation.
What the police report says, it was some sort of carjacking or attempted carjacking. At that point, for her safety, Korenstein pushed his significant other into the vehicle and turned to deal with the suspects. Officers happened to be on patrol nearby, and luckily they were able to see what was happening. So the officers immediately exited their vehicle and the juveniles began fleeing on foot. So Trump also posted a picture of the DOGE staffer and the condition he was in. So he was bloodied. I want to give you that warning before we show you the image. Oh, we're not even really showing you the image.
All right, so that's the account from TYT. That's the Young Turks. If you haven't heard of them, they're like a progressive news thing, but they do present both sides of the argument. If you're interested in checking them out, I will have a link down in the description. Now, what I want to say is shout out to the guy for attempting to defend a woman that he seemed to have been with. They said it was a woman. She says she was standing next to the car with somebody. If that was him, if he defended the woman that he was with, shout out to him. Unfortunately, this is not the full extent of where a situation can go. There was a gentleman also in DC at a hotel recently, within the past week, similar to this incident. That gentleman also decided to defend a female, but instead he lost his life. If there's 10 people coming up to you demanding something, just let it go. Let it go. It doesn't matter how expensive it is. It is not worth your life. This situation with the DOGE staffer didn't go to that extent, but you never know, because these people are crazy. If they're bold enough to come up to you demanding stuff, oh, we're going to take this off of you by any means, by force, they might be bold enough to take it a step further. I remember back in the day when I was growing up, it was a thing for people to get robbed for like North Face jackets, Helly Hansen's, phone posits, your iPhone. Thankfully, I avoided every situation. On the times that I was out of the house, the times that I was riding on a bus or on a train, by the grace of God, I avoided all of that stuff. But if these people are coming up to you as multiple people, or somebody has a weapon, or somebody is threatening you, just let it go. We have a police force that you can divulge and give them the information, and hopefully you get your stuff back. If not, hopefully you had the opportunity to file an insurance claim. But what you don't want to do is be in a body bag or end up losing your life trying to defend something that cost you what? A couple $1,000s? If they take your car, you have to have insurance. You file an insurance claim, you get it back. You get whatever the value of the car is, you go buy a new car. It's going to set you back a couple thousand, right? They never give you the full value of your car or the full value to replace your car, but you still have your life. You still have your health. Everybody is not going to be as quote unquote lenient as these kids were. 10 kids. That dude was bloody to the point he was sitting on the sidewalk. I assume he had to be helped. I saw the video. I saw the picture of him. He was beaten pretty badly. But they were lenient in how far it could have gone. So let's check this out with this other gentleman who lost his life outside of a DC hotel while he was protecting a stranger.
First here at 4, though, we have a Fox 5 exclusive. Fighting through tears, a Maryland mother making an emotional plea, demanding justice for her son after he was fatally shot overnight outside a D.C. hotel.
And new details emerging this evening about the circumstances that led up to that shooting and his heroic efforts to protect those from the gunman. Fox 5's Tisha Lewis joining us live from Riverdale tonight with more. Tisha?
You can see the cluster of cars behind me over my right shoulder. Family from all over coming to the victim's family's home. The family members telling us and identifying the victim as 28-year-old Akeem Torre. They tell us he leaves behind a younger sister and also his mother. They also tell us that his father passed away a couple of years ago. They go on to say he likely never saw the bullet coming.
So I have the mom here, of course, and, you know, she lost the dad a long time ago. So Akeem has been the man of the house, you know, taking care of his mother and his little sister. And he's a really good guy.
Yeah. Justice for my son.
And they took away
justice for my son.
so important to
Justice
this family. Somebody that is like the head help of this family, is the leader of this family.
Justice for my son. Those are really the only words Felinda Peters-John could manage to get out less than 24 hours after she says her son, Akeem Torre, was fatally shot on New Jersey Avenue Northwest last night. In fact, they say he died saving a complete stranger from harm's way. Family members say Torre stepped in to protect a woman who was a stranger before being shot outside the Yotel Hotel. The shooting reportedly took place in a parking garage. Family members say Torre worked in the IT field and was working to develop new apps. By Monday morning and afternoon, the family members poured into the family's home in Riverdale. We're told the family is from Sierra Leone in southern Africa.
This is how he was raised. As you see all the women, we were raised.
First of all, rest in peace to that guy. He absolutely did what he could do to step in and help somebody. We don't know the exact situation. They don't talk about it. We don't know the exact situation that he was rescuing the woman from. And it is unfortunate. But this is why I say, as a black man, stop being afraid to tell the police. You pay your tax dollars into a system that is meant to protect you. But the worst of us, the most dangerous people in our society, want you to believe that it's terrible. It's a shame for you to call the police to defend yourself. A system that you pay your tax dollars into. You work hard. You could use the road, you could use the fire department, but you can't use the people that will save your life from this type of situation. And when I look at this gentleman that lost his life and the incident with the DOGE staffer, it's one and the same. Attempting to intervene into a situation and you being on the receiving end of an assault. It's unfortunate. It's honestly a shame. I'm not going to say that this is uncommon in the DC area because it's definitely not. It's definitely not, but something has to change. People just want to be able to pay their taxes, have fun sometimes on the weekends, and be safe. But the worst of us in society, whether it be, yes, the kids that are carjacking people and whooping their ass down in reference to the DOGE staffer, yes, those kids are the worst of us. You know why? Because of their parents. Their parents don't give a damn. Their parents let them run the street and do whatever the hell they want. So they have no respect for the fact that this property belongs to other people. They have no respect for the fact that you should keep your hands to yourself unless you're defending yourself. The worst of our society, arguing with a woman, pulls out a weapon and shoots a guy that's trying to de-escalate the situation. The worst of us. But we're not supposed to go to the police and talk about it. We're just supposed to let our neighborhoods devolve into even worse situations so nobody wants to live there. And then when gentrification happens, they say, oh, look what the white man is doing. I don't necessarily agree with gentrification. But when you drive these prices down because of this stuff and because of the fact that you're telling people don't call the police, don't do anything about it. Nobody wants to live in these areas. But then when white people come in, they don't have to deal with these problems. It's a shame. Rest in peace to that gentleman that lost his life. Hopefully, I'm not sure if they caught the guy that shot and killed him. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they make the neighborhoods in the DC area safer by arresting him. And the DOGE staffer that was defending the woman that he was either with or maybe she was a stranger to him as well. Shout out to him. But I will say, if somebody is trying to take something from you, especially when you're outnumbered like that, or they have a weapon, just let it go. Your life, losing your life is not worth whatever possession that they are going to get from you.